this moving around as much as and 4 years of people started joining us and kind of guiding us, mentoring us, and so much of learning that we did. The top physician team, Dr. Dhruv, Dr. Dilip, Dr. Shashi stood by us. Dr. Uma Nambiar became our anchor for some of the key programs. Dr. Nagendra Swami, now the president of Ramaya Medical College, stood by us, encouraged us, surgeons. Eventually, in November 2022, we launched HealthTech, Center for Advancing Digital. Everyone wonders what this HealthTech is all about. Advancing digital health management, innovation, research, and education. We owe this word to Dr. Kera sir, our word. But then what? As luck would have it, some of the faculty, with hospital management and consulting background, kept moving with specific training programs. Dr. Anand dentist and a strong obviously no. But an interesting phenomena that I keep hearing is AI can hallucinate, may have delusion, may have delusion, or maybe can tell lies. Of course, data is the way to go. What I liked was Chomsky was a very important discipline for all of us as language specialists. So I quote, the human mind is not like ChatGPT and it is elaborate statistical engine for pattern matching, gauging on hundreds of terabytes of data and extrapolating the most likely conversational response or most answers. On the contrary, mind is a surprisingly efficient and even elegant system that operates with small amounts of information. It seems not to infer truth correlation among data points, but create explanation. Unquote. But we all are sure, and we agree that AI will be a big add-on to human intelligence. Just I read today what Satya Nadella said. He wants to call it not artificial intelligence, maybe different intelligence. Our new extension work that we are doing on data gets better population health, better physical outcomes, better patient care. And then many more questions to find answers to data, if you want from AI, and many more technology. I see there are so many more uses that are. And finally, when we take healthcare for our mandate here, we develop young professionals. We must be intelligently navigate the ever-changing landscape of AI, ML, deep learning, data science, and make healthcare much more beneficial, accessible, affordable, high quality, and the answers are endless. And we are ready to collaborate with all of you. This is very important as a small institution. Maybe it's very important as we see across. Not anymore the labs are single man labs that people do. It is a collaborative work, and we're very happy that all of you have joined us in this journey as we learn, as we fine tune, as we develop our youngsters to really contribute to the healthcare and technology is the next thing that we all have. So with this, I welcome all of you once again. And there are many more names that I'd really like to say, but that will take already a long time. So with this, I am very happy to have you with us and look forward to all the discussion and various other programs that we have. And thank you for being here today with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us about the legacy which IIHMR Bangalore carries in healthcare research and education, and also about the futuristic initiative happening at the campus. I feel extremely proud to welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Uma Nambiar, Bakshi Pasta Hospital, to deliver the keynote speaker.
I like that.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Then we had the first program on Admire. Everybody still works together. So let me, while it's good to look at the work of this 2000 feet, you must also remember and all that. So let me just take you through how we have to navigate through the future with all the technological advancements that are happening very rapidly. Not moving forward. It's not moving forward. Okay. Taking time. So we know that the landscape of this is it made us one size not. I we know but we cannot still remember. Not rest all our patients. My favorite. It's just a complex with healthcare and across the globe. I'm not talking about in different spaces, maybe, but all of us living in very, very complex environment, and if we are looking at addressing all these things at way, then we need to look at things that can work together, integrate all these spaces, because the decision making for a patient or a population dependent on data that comes from different spaces within the. It's not just one clinic, one doctor, one patient. No. It is one clinic, multiple players. So we are all part of it. At some point or the other, either as a healthcare provider or as a healthcare also maybe from some other players. That this is a well integrated system. And we all know that this is the healing project of our country. It is the responsibility of all of us. Because it's not the government that is going to help that first. It is all of us, but in the domain of we have to make it. That healthcare is about smart management. We all know about connected care, and this is the thing: a personal health record for a patient, which is equivalent of the slide that shows about disparity and the care. So how do we bring them all together to create a single patient health record or that various document that you all know? We have to understand that healthcare has always been about data management. Once we get that right, we realize how important every piece of data is for management, irrespective of what tools that we use. Whether it was seeing a patient in a clinic, who came to my clinic, I would take his history, I would assimilate a few points, I would go back on information that I have for my clinic. What has changed now? What has changed is the tools to collect the data, which means that the data that we collect must be collected in a manner that is ultimately what helps me reach that decision of what is wrong with the patient, how do I diagnose it. So, simply put, what an individual patient domain needs to do is now delegated to computing power, which is much more smarter, much more faster, and to arrive at decisions with data that is being provided in a lab. So we have multiple types of data that are collected by the paper, partial digital, full digital, audio digital, all kinds of. And all of them are used by a healthcare provider at some time of the other. And these are all multiple tools that are available, and if technology, whatever impact technology has on the daily given in last fastest 20 years of technology. So when we talk about data management, what is AI specifically doing data management? What are the AI tools? Arriving at our decision faster and with a larger volume of data. That's the basic purpose of all the tools that are being provided by AI. This is what it does. So instead of a single doctor taking a decision on a single patient, it's the collective data or the decision given by any AI-based tool is collection of the data that has been collected by multiple across many patients and therefore large volume but it's necessary that the data that we collect needs to be timely, needs to be accurate, needs to get the point where it is collected, where the data is generated. We must understand that there are certain quality parameters of the data that we must understand. And fully, we have to take complete data because all of us are aware of situations where either because the physician or the nurse does not have the time, or yeah, it, I, data, that is the we are dependent on the decision tools giving us different design. And we know of cases where people so I think important for us to understand that our responsibility as healthcare providers is in this new ecosystem as the right data provider, right data collector. What would a physician look for in a CDSS empowered chemotherapy system? A complex system, patient today has to come back to the same center to take all the cycles, but suppose the patient has to go to take care of it. Would it not be nice if there was data that would help the physician at every cycle to take inputs on side effects of the patient has the intermittent treatment that the patient has, the weight loss that there is, or any specific drug tolerance, then all those decisions should be provided to the may they have to come to the medical oncologist, actually this, and it is not available. So eventually we are looking at healthcare providers being provided with tools that can help them in complex. This is what a physician is. If I was a medical I would really want, not saying that this is fair for the doctor, that it really is a great assistance for doctors because it takes away the burden of complex decision making. I just one decision. So eventually, if we all get this word in every sector. Healthcare is. At ground level, how smartly we will manage the data, how transformed we will be. So we know that there are many benefits of data-driven AI tools, but we have to be concerned and we continue ethical issues, lack of problems, should not be and the lack of comfort is to us whatever is making the system that right. So I mean there is always that question, because we don't know what goes wrong and the physician is always over. But and as anybody in that provider would really love to have all the solutions that say that I can get any patient data, I can get all the references. And I is simple, I don't have to do the pharmaceutical agents and the drug processes. security. Challenge. It is more than 25. And so, also make sure and say that this is kind of people, and this is the way I and these should not be just passive people of income. We should engage getting and technology. They don't want to, but these doesn't work. And if that engagement doesn't happen, it will still not really be where we want to land this. So the biggest challenge, I mean, when you are saying master art of data collection. They do. Otherwise, it is set. So just as in the healthcare field, there are a lot of are on ground responsible for giving these data actually using the system. It's not just the people, you have to make sure that there are users. Just so that in the ecosystem, we train those users and
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights about the data and its importance in healthcare. I would like to request Dr. Rusha Manjuna. Ma'am, can you please give the token of appreciation to ma'am?
he tokens of
Please, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Before we move on, I would like to announce the presence of Ms. Hannah, Senior Diplomat, Czech Republic, European Union. Welcome you, ma'am, and thanks for joining us today for this event. Today we have an eminent academician and a technology expert among us, Professor S. Sadagopan. So may I have the opportunity to invite you on the stage and to set the context of the day? Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So I think Piyush has a way of giving you a task, okay, and without telling you in advance what is the task. Okay, so you have to, like we as instructors in IITs for many years, we do some papa for which we get the phala today. We used to do what is called unannounced quiz. So this is unannounced quiz. Okay, he didn't tell me what is the topic, but anyway. So what I thought I'll do is we have been involved with this. So I thought I will share with you in 4 minutes, 4 points. One, whenever we IT guys, there is one company which had enormous influence on IT for long, long time. It was run by two fellows for a long, long time again. One is called Senior Watson, other is called Junior Watson. So obviously IBM decided to name one of the very interesting software piece, Watson. Okay, Watson was making a lot of waves, sufficiently ahead of ChatGPT, and Watson was actually an AI system which actually mainly used in medicine to actually be able to do some prediction. And Watson also had some very Indian connection. So lots of Watson experiments were done in India. So they were actually one of the very early users of AI. But sometimes what happens is that some people are lucky, some people are not. Watson is not a lucky. So, I'm sure there are enough people in the corporate world. So corporate world, sometimes they do what is called cold-blooded murder. Okay, it is called just withdraw the support to the project dies, right? So Watson died. But anyway, it's important for you to know Watson at some point in time, when you get time, take a look at it. So this is, I think there are ways in which you can learn from a project how to do it, and there are projects from which you learn how not to do it. That is the Watson. But completely switching gears, 3-4 years back, just before ChatGPT 3 was announced, world was talking about AI, ML, data science. Everybody was talking about it. So people said all jobs will disappear. So we have one saintly person among the IT crowd today. His name is Satya Nadella. He runs a company called Microsoft. Very unusual person. He's a very quiet, cool, very cool-headed person. So he wrote a book also. So people went and asked Satya. He said that, look, he said, whatever might happen, he actually made a very interesting statement. He said, for 300 years, we created machines and made machines to human beings to tend to the machine. One machine could be a car, other machine could be a PC where we all do this, or even this stupid stuff which we keep doing, right? Every now and then we keep looking at it. But we have to look at it. Or sometime if it rings, you have to pick it up. He said, look, this will kind of go away. So machines will attend to machines and human beings will have time for human beings. That's a big statement, right? Human beings will have time for human beings. So obviously today, if you think about it, however much we talk about the smartphone using AI, it is so dumb, right? I think what it should do is that in the course of the conversation, 3.5 hours of this conference, so if there is indeed something which is emergency or which needed my attention, I should be prompted. It could be in the form of SMS, could be WhatsApp, could be missed call, it could be email. The machine should read all of it, understand, make sense, and call only if necessary. Or every day morning, it should just give me a nice summary. What should I do? Okay, instead of I kind of opening it up, etc. We are still far away from that. But what Satya said is true, that human beings will have time for human beings. So he actually went ahead and said, there will be only two professions left. One is called teaching, other is called healthcare. And in this conference like this, you are the best of both, right? You are doing teaching for healthcare. So you are bound for success and for long, long time. Much before everybody else goes home, you will be there. So that is the nice. Third thing is contextual. In Bangalore, we should talk about Bangalore. You see, I tell you, I belong to one community and some of you belong to other community. One is called engineer and a doctor. So in this country, madam, you possibly may not know this country, something very special about this country. So engineers and doctors have a fairly well articulated, well established contempt for each other. So engineers go to doctors only when there is any medical problem. Otherwise, we keep away from the doctors. And the doctors don't come anywhere near engineers because they think that, look, they are not species worth talking about. But something happened in COVID. So all the doctors had time and they also talked to the engineers. And somewhere along the doctors said that, look, we don't kind of trust you engineers because we trust machines made by Siemens, Philips, and GE. And then I whispered in the doctor's ears, sir or madam, all these machines run with software written by we guys in Bangalore. They said, what? I said, okay, I will show you. So Philips, Siemens, GE, the software comes from here. I said, look, you guys must be having something, man. So let us talk to each other. So that has actually changed the world. So I tell you, last 4 years, this country is completely different. Engineers and doctors, when we started talking to each other, a lot of interesting stuff are happening. Some of them you will discover in this course. I don't want to take time because otherwise you will take too much of time. And the last thing is, like these days, a lot of professionals, see, we are all the old time guys. Okay, see, I keep having fun with my students. They kind of can't believe it. They don't believe it, but they probably have respect. They don't tell me that they don't believe it. But they think that I have gone to sleep. But I tell them that, look, in English language, there are two words. One is called spring, other one is called winter. Normally, whenever something is coming to an end, we call it winter. Whenever something is starting, we call it a spring. So I told them that, look, 1967 was the winter for AI. In the spring was earlier, right? So we all thought that AI was over. So we all had done AI programming in 60s and 70s. Students don't believe it. But I won't blame them. Because what happened was, because it was mentioned by the previous speaker, AI needs data. AI did not have data, so it could not be used. I think what happened is in the last 30, 40 years, data is there, data is everywhere, data is in your pocket, you are reachable 365 days, 24 by 7, whether you are in Bangalore or in any other place, Timbuktu. So what has happened is one nice way by which you can understand, probably you can keep in your references, think of AI as nature and data as nurture. See, you need a good seed before you can get a plant. But a seed is not sufficient. You need a great soil, you need sunlight, you need water, you need fertilizers, sometimes you need pesticide. Yeah, all these things put together. So when the nature and nurture are together, you get something. When you have only nature, but there is no nurture, it dies a natural death. That's what happened in 1967. AI died because there was no data. And today, thanks to data, AI, data coming together, we have the nature and the nurture. We are going to have a great plant coming out, and this plant will give, at least this is the mango season. So for years together, there will be yummy mangoes we all will keep eating. So, Usha madam, the course that you are starting today is actually going to give lots and lots of fruits. We all will enjoy. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir. We really like the humorous way of delivering serious and thoughtful messages from your side. As usual, you're always crisp and to the point. Now, the house seems to be full, and I would like to again welcome all the professionals from engineering world, from health IT, from AI, data analytics, and hospital to this forum. Welcome you all once again. Now, moving forward, I would like to invite our mentor for such innovative initiatives, Dr. C.S. Kedar, retired IAS and former director ESIC, to kindly share words of wisdom with us. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon to all of you. I think a great dream of Professor Shadgopan. I think today we have planted the tree. Now it is for Usha and her team to water it, take care of it. I remember 2 years ago when we were seriously discussing that we should have this course.
I'll take from where Professor Shettopa ended. I think he was talking about data. When as Director General ESI started collecting the data of about CDR of 6 crore Indians. 6 crore means 60 million. For the last, I think, 2012, so roughly around 12 years of data of 6 crore Indians, clinical data record is sitting at Rohini data center. First thing I think Usha should do is, under your mentorship, she should ask for the data and analyze that data. For public health policy, I think, take care, because there are lots of public health issues which ESI handles. I also know that the IIHMR also handles public health issue also management. So that is something available, huge data all over India, all age groups. I think that's a treasure trove. I don't know how do you want to open it. So I hope that maybe 1 year down the line we'll have one seminar here where Professor will be talking on this data we have this one. I'm just telling this because being from public background, I think before the director comes, because I shouldn't let down government in front of another government service. Normally, we don't take decisions based on the data. We didn't take the data of Yashaswini into account before we decided on Arogyasri, health insurance scheme started by Andhra Pradesh. Similarly, some other. Similarly, I'm very, very sure that when Ayushman Bharat was started, we didn't take the data of earlier schemes. Maybe, I don't know what happens, whether you call it A, you don't call it A, etc. If there is a change in the mental attitude that we take decisions based on the data, probably that will be something that Usha will be making great in the health sector. Having handled 200 hospital chain in ESI, I know that in hospitals are always chaotic, always. Everybody is running around. Everything, whatever can go wrong will always go wrong. And our students or our alumni must be taking decisions. And for those decisions to be taken, how do we ensure that it is based on the data? Now, even if data is available, the data is not available in a format in which I can analyze quickly and make decisions. Because these are, we have to take good decisions. For that to happen, I hope AI will help. So I am foreseeing that all our students in the coming few days, when they are in the hospital management, they are handling the hospitals at very high levels. They are enabled to use the data in a way which will help them to take continuous decisions. And the last item that I would like to tell you is that in the coming days, when we want to reach out our health services to a large number of people, of course, today millions of people don't get covered by the health, and we have insufficient doctors. Not only doctors, I think even nurses, all paramedical staff, etc., are short supply. How are we going to use the science that we are claiming as a force multiplier? It's a challenge. Can these tools enable one doctor of today equivalent to 10 doctors maybe down the line, maybe in the next 1 or 2 years? We need, I don't know, Professor Vishal Rao, Dr. Vishal Rao should tell, maybe we need not 10 times, maybe 100 times the existing strength of doctors, but assuming even if we can multiply by a factor of 10 using the technology availability of the doctors, that will be a great service that madam. Okay. Welcome, Darshan. Thank you. We warmly invite the lab. Darshan, who is the director of IT. So can we do it as a force multiplier so that we'll have, with the same doctors, we'll have an output 10 times. Similarly for all other health workers. So 3 points that I was trying to tell, Darshan, that's for you to look at. One is how do we look at the data that is going and using whatever the tool Professor Shadgopal explained in making public health policy decisions, because those are very critical. As DGSI was finding it very important that we were curing, but we were not taking public health policy decisions which are relevant. Second thing is, we always say that there's a shortage of doctors. Even in ESI, we had a shortage of doctors. So, in fact, I myself started 14 medical colleges. But that's nothing. It's a drop in the thing. So, using technologies in the short term, can we use this as multipliers? Third thing I was telling, this hospitals, especially the governmental kind, always hospitals are in chaos. Even now, if you go to Rajaji Nagar ESA hospital, the number of outpatients waiting, the number of people who are waiting for scanning, at least ultrasound scanning, there is so many, so chaotic. How do we enable that they can be systematized using the AI and ML or whatever they are saying, data science and data collection? This is what possibly young people like Darshan will be able to guide in the coming days, the government of Karnataka, maybe others, that we should always have decision making based on facts. I wish you all the best. I think I heard that Yashaswini has been revived again by the government of Karnataka. Oh, is it? Usha? Okay. So now I was telling you that decisions have to be based on, when we started Yashaswini, Andhra Pradesh started Arogyasri, did we base it on the learnings from here? When Government of India launched its own, some of the other states also launched, did we base it on the facts? Because the data, one of the key things that we should teach our people, students in our courses, how to capture the data and make it available in a format which is usable. Collection of data, that's why I told you, please go and look at the data of 6 crore Indians over 12 years. Have we collected the data in a fashion which is usable? Can we mine that data and can we come to some conclusions? Otherwise, we have to ensure that at least our students, when they go out in the hospital, capture the. I'm not talking of even patients' data or their personal data, even anonymized data. Are we collecting in a way which can help us make decisions? I wish all the very best. We are very happy that Usha has done a great thing. Usha and her team, great. I think every time we come, there's always something new happening. And she being very, very close to Electronic City, she has justified now, because all these companies who are going to do AI and data analytics, ML are all located. Actually, you can call them over voice. There is no need for a phone also. You can shout at them and they'll come. At least 2 big companies are at the shouting distance from you. Thank you very much, and I wish all the best. And I warmly welcome all the future students for this course. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to request Dr. Vishal Rao to kindly come over the stage and give token of appreciation to Dr. C.S. Kedar and Professor Sadgopan.
Wow. I think normally we give something to doctor, it is the other way around. Doctor is giving something to the patient. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Now, moving to one of the most exciting part of this summit, the launch of postgraduate diploma in artificial intelligence and data science by IIHMR Bangalore, path-breaking initiative in the field of healthcare education and technology. For this, I would like to request Sri Darshan HV, IAS Director, Department of Electronics, IT and BT, Government of Karnataka, to kindly come on stage. Dr. Rusha Manjunath, Professor and Director, IIHMR Bangalore. Dr. Ruma Nambiar, CEO, Bakshi Pathsaji Hospital, IIC Bangalore. Professor Sadgopan, Visiting Distinguished Professor, IHMR Bangalore and former Director, IIIGB. And Dr. C.S. Kedar, former Director General, ESIC.
Oh, he's launching the. You know. Yeah, please.
Thank you, everyone. So with this, we mark a new era in the field of health tech education. A big round of applause by everyone. I request for IHMR Bangalore. It's a great honor for me to pronounce that today we are joined by Sri Darshan HV, Director, IAS Director, Department of Electronics, IT and BT, Government of Karnataka, as chief guest for this event. Thank you for joining us today, sir. Sri Darshan is an IAS officer from past 2016 and also a graduate in engineering, in industrial engineering and management from Bangalore. As Director Electronics, ITBT and MDK-ITS, he is spearheading the implementation of various schemes and programs of the department in the sector of information technology, biotechnology, electronics, animation, and gaming and startup. Welcome you, sir. May I request you to kindly take the stage and share your words of wisdom with us. Thank you, sir.
Uh, First of all, very good afternoon, everyone. Namaskara. It's been an honor here to present here in front of you guys, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to launch this prospectus 2024-25. I haven't gone through it, but I'll definitely go through it once. First of all, I want to start my speech with thanking the organizers here. So initially, the schedule was at 4:30 p.m. Then, with my request, it was advanced to 4 p.m. Then again, with my other request, it was advanced to 3:45 p.m. So thank you for accommodating my request. I'm grateful for that. Firstly, with respect to this particular summit that is being organized.
Firstly, thank you for inviting me to this HealthTech Academy Summit organized by IIHMR. Thank you, Kedar sir, for again giving me an opportunity to be a part of such lovely event. To start with, I would like to remember my association with Kedar sir. It's been like probably 6-7 years now since I was CEO of Kolar. So I know Kedar sir, activism and his fondness towards health, especially women and child. So that is something that I'll always remember. Kolar again being one of the most backward districts, still considered to be one of the backward regions also. So we try to push together a lot with respect to nutrition, especially in Anganwadi children. I'm not sure how far we could go there, but a lot of strides were done, achieved with respect to that on those scale. So I would like to start by telling you that I'm an IS officer of 2016 batch. Presently, I'm the director of Department of Electronics, IT, and PT. I'm also the managing director of KITS, that is Karnataka Innovation and Technology Society. More than being a director, it is this MD post that actually gives me an opportunity to be in such kind of events, interact with such like-minded people, provide assistance that the government always provides to such incentives or initiatives. And a lot of industry collaboration, a lot of academia collaboration happens through KITS, that is Karnataka Innovation and Technology Society. Especially with this particular summit that deals extensively with both health tech and medtech, along with the data sciences. So ours is the primary department that looks into the technology wise and also the data collection wise. First of all, I would like to mention that in these recent years, data science and healthcare are going hand in hand. Now, the process of data collection, the process that is involved in this collection is a very tricky one, especially when it comes to health sciences. Now, what kind of data can be collected by anyone, whether it can be a government organization or a non-profit organization or academia for its research. So the right to privacy always is something that we always need to have in our mind. So we have associations with, I'm sure IIHR has a lot of associations with the hospitals and other things, but it always comes with certain star marks. You know, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. These kind of data cannot be used for so and so. So that is one of the challenges that even our department always tries to navigate with respect to data privacy. Now, we have centers of excellence. We have a lot of centers of excellence, particularly devoted to biotechnology and health, along with agriculture, horticulture, anything to do with health and innovation. So, in one of the new centers of excellence that we have come up with in the last year's budget, so it is on COE, health tech, and medtech. Now, when we came up with this idea of having a center of excellence for health tech and medtech, the first question that always arose to us was who are going to be our partners? Of course, a lot of reputed organizations who deal with health related and health sciences, biolife sciences, and the hospitals, whether it is NIMANS or any other prestigious hospitals that we have in Bangalore. We wanted to have a collaboration with them, and we did. Now, the main question comes for any startups to be incubated or for any kind of new innovative idea to be implemented. We wanted to have a data. Now, as of now, apart from the health department, and it's a very, again, in a crude way, we do not have much data with respect to the kind of analysis that can be done. That can be used for looking at nutrition, looking at the health of the individual, looking at the overall health of the community. So this is the question that we always try to answer. So how do we navigate this? How do we start looking at the data sciences? How do we start looking at data collection? So that's where a role of our department comes in handy. Now we need to protect the individual rights along with having a particular ethical role that the government actually plays with. So we have a separate COE called CIET under IITB, that is International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore, which looks after these kind of ethical things. So it is basically a center of Internet of ethical things, where all such ethical related dilemmas are being answered or being looked at as of now. So when it comes to artificial intelligence, so we need these kind of data for decision making, which Kedar sir rightly was mentioning. Any kind of policy that we come across with, any kind of policy we try to look out for, or any kind of incentive, or any kind of some kind of sponsorship that we are looking at, data is a must. So when it comes to health sciences, let's say how many of the people were of the patients were administered some kind of doses. So we do not know. We can get hospital-wise, but can we get Bangalore or region-wise, like how many in Bangalore, how many in Mysore? We might, but that is quite difficult because it is not open to public. Now, if I want to know how many of the patients are getting treated here today for kidney dialysis, or how many of them are getting treated for any kind of genetically rare diseases, or how many of these patients are we looking at who are waiting for the operations or performance of the operations by the government doctor, by the government institution. So these are the kind of data that we are looking at when we are trying to arrive at a decision. Now, how does technology help it? AI is something that our department has always promoted at a larger extent. We have separate centers of excellence for artificial intelligence and machine learning. Indian Institute of Science is one of them, where we have Art Park, that is Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Technology Park, that looks at AI as a part of the tool for all these sectors, whether it is IT, whether it is BT, whether it is related to medical devices and health, if it is about data sciences, whether it is about electronics and design manufacturing. So all these have been inculcated with AI as being a major part of the innovation. Now, the use of AI again. So a lot of times that we have seen, in especially in diagnosing certain diseases or diagnosing certain syndromes or any other particular ailments, a particular hospital can come across with respect to students, or I mean with respect to patients or something. Human error can always happen. So human error is something that we always try to minimize by inculcating some kind of graphical method, by inculcating some kind of artificial intelligence in our system. So AI really plays a role in the decision making. So how these decision makers make use of AI using AI tools, using the software, whether it is the cloud-based one, whether it is linked to the local servers here. So that is where the use of technology comes in handy with respect to all of this. So some of the things that we might require in the health system with respect to how this particular AI-related data sciences can be successful. So one thing that when I say we, Government of Karnataka, along with our department, we are looking at organization-wide data repositories. Again, this is a kind of humongous effort that would need from this collaboration of all the departments and also like-minded organizations and people. The second one is about data governance and security. So if we have to come up with any particular act or any kind of laws, rules and regulations that require some kind of governing with respect to these data governance, that the department has already taken a stride with respect to this. And it is always amendable depending on the cause or the effect that it leads to. The third one we are looking at is the interoperability of data within and across health systems. So when we say health systems, it includes all of it. Health system is an umbrella of everything, umbrella that requires technology, umbrella that has patients and citizens, doctors, the hospitals, and people who are getting treated there. R&D centers that looks into health, medical practitioners, medical device manufacturers, services providers. So all these are under this umbrella of health system. Then the fourth one we are trying to figure it out is the data science capabilities. So what are the capabilities of these data science? So do we have the talent to look into this? Do we have skilled personnel that can actually guide it? Do we have the marketing managers that can actually get our departments or get the hospital chain or get the health systems into the right path? So that is the question that needs a right answer. And the last one we are stressing a lot on is the use and repeated use of data to improve decision making and care. I think that should answer Kedas's question with respect to that, how the department is going to come up with. Again, crude data will not help. We would need tools to analyze it. We would need tools to bifurcate it based on the sectors and the different subsectors, maybe geographical region, maybe based on the district-wise, the autonomy of a particular ecosystem there that is present, and the access to the health system that has always come across it. So to overcome these kind of series of challenges in order to bring AI to its success, some of the challenges that we always have to look about is the lack of understanding of these data, especially with the use of AI. So even today, not only with health tech and medtech, or with respect to biotechnology, you take any field, there is a lack of understanding with what AI can do. One of the examples that we have come across is the use of AI in ChatGPT. So how does ChatGPT uses AI is the question that requires answers in both, ethical side and also the other side. The second one is the lack of clear strategies to implement this in a particular decision making strategies. And of course, a shortage of well-trained personnel with respect to that is something that the department is trying to address to by forming. Recently, we have come across with, or we have formed a skill council on emerging technologies, where AI, of course, is the main focus on our skill technologies. Then the incompatibility of AI technologies with our present ecosystem. So when we move beyond the existing ecosystem, when we are trying to inculcate AI as a part of our decision making, as a part of the process that we look into, then we also need to have the infrastructure in the same way. So the updation of the infrastructure is something that has to happen from the ground level till the top level. And the last one is the lack of access to good and diverse medical data. As I mentioned, medical data is something that we might have to give access to the like-minded ecosystem partners so that they can use it in a very ethical way without, looking into the inner aspect of it. Just a broad data availability will actually help our ecosystem a lot. So a lot of stakeholders are actually working on it. There are startups who have been working on such kind of things using AI in the PT and other fields, especially in health sciences, to come up with a very valuable contribution to the society. We also have our own institutions that are particularly working on this health and medtech. We have our Center for Human Genetics. We have our own Bangalore Bioinnovation Center. We also have IBAB that looks into such kind of things. And lastly, the role of the department here. So our department, coupled with collaboration with other departments, are looking into such kind of things. So I hope such seminars would increase, the knowledge, increase the accessibility of such niche sectors to keep talking about this, especially the ethical data availability in the modern times. So thank you anyway. Thank you very much for having me a part of this. I hope the sessions are going to be wonderful when it has started. So it's lovely to be a part of this and hope to take a lot of this in particular. So thank you.
Something I think Darshan actually provoked me to speak. In the malnutrition project was piloted in his district in Kolar, and he wanted to know what happened. And incidentally, IIHMR was the third party evaluation. They were doing the evaluation, IIHMR, and he was the project implementer. The world is so nice. Now I want to tell you, you wanted to know what has happened. Today, across India, we are covering roughly 1 million children every day across India. We started with him, just pilot up 20,000 children in your thing. I think he's a very lucky man. So now it is 1 million across. 1 million. Lots of it in Orissa, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh. So second thing, Usha, I think we have a lot to. I think he has given away a lot of takeaways from us. So IIHMR, I think you have a lot of role to play, and possibly you can also contribute something in the government efforts. And extremely thing is when you are designing some of your course content, you must look at, you was saying what type of manpower is needed. Maybe in our course content, some of his inputs can be taken. On some other occasion, we can call him to IIHMR and look at what does he want. So that in our course content, especially covering the health sector. So we are very, very grateful, Darshan, for one, doing for malnutrition, second, doing something good for IIHMR. Happy science, I think here also we may reach very great heights. Looking at his background as at Kular, I think Acha, Pudi, memento. It will be my privilege to give a small memento on behalf of IIHMR. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So a lot of work is happening at the public health level for integration of technology, and we are bound to be a leader in the healthcare across the world. But the challenge which pervades is the availability of trained and skilled manpower in health IT. And that's where the PGDM in artificial intelligence and data science comes in. Now I would request our professor, assistant professor, Dr. Akash Prabhune, to kindly come over the stage and explain our audience that what they can expect from this course, who can be a participant in this course, and how is it going to be a learning experience for them. Dr. Akash, over to you.
Thank you. Here to Piyush for introduction. I will take a small time to just introduce about the program that we are launching at IIHMR Bangalore. What are the program objectives, how we are structured, and how we intend to integrate that with the industry requirements. And moreover, what students who are graduating from this program can add value to the industry and how they can contribute to the field of healthcare using AI and data science. This thing.
Yes, I can.
You start off. Correct. Good. Okay. So starting with this genesis of the idea, I guess in 2017 when we had our first efforts into digital health, or what that time was health IT, we tried to launch a separate program, but then it was having a limited success. That led to integrating of a health IT specialization in our flagship program that was PGDM in health and hospital management. And that really got us to an extent where we got some experience and some exposure to industry and other sectors. Then we had obviously the COVID pandemic, which had all across the world digitalization becoming the key factor, and health was not out of that. The next thing where the ABDM became full-fledged force in Indian health system, and then in 2022 we have this Gen AI revolution, or what we call a ChatGPT launch, and also this launch of new cadre of health management by the ministry. Finally, 2023, where we also undertook our own market research. We undertook some studies to understand what is really a market need that we can actually capture with a new course related to data science. And then we also kind of had this from NHA that they were proposing MSc Digital Health, but then AICT was much more pro in going with AI and data science rather than only digital health. So that's where we are on 2024, where we went ahead with the full-fledged 2-year AICT program on PGDM and data science. So we had done our market research, and what we essentially had was two categories. One obviously was skilling of the new gen professional who are newly joining the industry, and also the existing workforce. Now, obviously, the existing workforce has a different requirement. So they were the category who were mostly interested into the executive programs, the small short duration courses. While the skilling of new professionals was one area where
we really thought that the industry is looking for more and more engineers to become doctors and doctors to work as engineers. So that kind of culmination of different skill sets was a key here. So we had this limited standardization was one area, then gaps in training education, interdisciplinary nature, issues with vocabularies. Doctors don't understand what engineers are saying, engineers don't understand what doctors are saying. So these categories or these points had to come out from our research. And finally, that's where I think we also had our publication on this related to what are the key course requirements that industry is doing and what is being offered by the education institutes. And this is where our course philosophy started, where we had this kind of work around 8 pointers which came around. One was obviously the integration of health and technology. Second was building of management capacity. Then focus on real world applications, research and innovations, comprehensive curriculum development, interdisciplinary approach, adaptation to industry needs, and global perspective. So these were the key focus areas when we were designing the new course. Also, at the background, we're looking at the ethics and social responsibility as a pillar of all these activities. This is the structure of new course. So what we have is initially the student will start with induction and foundation courses. Then mostly focus on to developing for engineering guys, it's medical terminology. For the healthcare guys, it's looking in terms of the maths probabilities. So bring them on a level playing field. Then project management. Term one focuses more into the health systems, like how and healthcare management. So it's more inclined towards the healthcare management part, where we have health systems, hospital services, management in healthcare, MIS application for healthcare, and research for healthcare. We move to term two with more focus on AI and data science. And here we look at programming, development of software, designing user interfaces for healthcare specific requirements, ethics and legal aspects related to the AI in healthcare, and then professional communication ethics. This is also where the students go for what we call as a summer training program, which is for 3 months. And that is mostly with the industries. They work with the industries on their projects, understand the industry culture, nature, and kind of get some experience that will be helpful for them going ahead. Term three is where we focus more again into the management part and development part of the AI and data science solutions. Here again, just a TPM, we go with the AI and digital health, the entire umbrella terms that we have been using now. Advancing and advanced computing and other process, big data comes into play. Business development, marketing comes into play. And then in final semester, they work on fintech, focusing on revenue and other aspects. AI for supply chain management, AI for smart and so this is more of the applications that we try to shift the students. And then at the end, they have again 3 months of dedication where they work with the industry already placed there and kind of work on small projects which they can present to get their degree. So the program objectives that we have been also submitting to the AICT and it's developing the Bloom's taxonomy is one, obviously, to develop understanding of the fundamentals of management, principles of statistical analysis, mathematical reasoning. Then we have to gain a strong knowledge of both supervised, unsupervised machine learning, data analysis techniques, and other aspects, cognitive skill development, and equip the students with to manage the process, organize the process effectively, and data-based decision making. We also have one of the last ones that is to develop the understanding of product designing. This has been lacking in a lot of the curriculums that we have been work or even the one that we have been giving because either they become someone who is managing the existing one or they become development. This is one where we're trying to bridge that someone who knows from start to end of a process, right from designing, development, implementation, and market entry. So that's where a larger portfolio or larger spectrum we're trying to build with this course. These are our program specific outcomes that we're looking, more focus into the applying knowledge, then looking at the critical thinking, understand this emerging field and getting a strong ability to manage the field, build capabilities to understand, analyze, communicate the aspects of business, efficiency to create and implement AI data science solutions, and showcase proficiency in data science strategies. IIHMR Bangalore, the benefits that the students will gain from this course is that one, obviously, we have an excellent pool of faculty. We have state-of-art facilities with us. The Admire Center has a lab which gives them the freedom to work on their own models, work on them, rebuild, again work on them. So that's the and also the large data set that we have with us. We also have the industry linkages, focus on innovation. We have recently applied for MSME kind of certification for incubation center. So that also promotes a kind of incubation entrepreneurship. And obviously, the students that mostly are coming from both the spectrums, from engineering spectrum and from the medical. So that's we're trying to kind of build a cadre for particularly digital health management. These are the value additions for the industry from the graduates who would be coming out of this program. One, obviously, they'll get practical experience, they'll get specialized knowledge of data science and healthcare, strong analytical and problem solving skills, ability to drive innovations in digital transformation, collaboration and commission skills, engage in the new technologies and ethical awareness, and integration of management technology skills. So that are the key things that are being proposed under this course. The students will learn and implement in the field and industry. So yeah, I thank you for your time, and we hope that with all of you here, this course will be a success, and we can have the graduates and students coming out contribute more towards the healthcare of this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Akash. Before we move on to the next segment of the HealthTech Summit towards our panel discussion, I would request all the guests to kindly grab a cup of coffee. We will break for 5 minutes. In the meanwhile, we'll start the panel discussion.